these things are just words of encouragement for somebody who might be just really needing that extra encouragement. So I do want to remind you that the Lord asks you, cast your cares upon him. He is with you always. So remember that this is not something that should be festered in, that just journeying through the Psalms is such a relief because it puts words to what our heart sometimes doesn't know how to speak. And so I encourage you, get into the Psalms and just read through there, and you'll feel the Spirit inside you just be like, finally somebody understands. So you're going to find your feelings and your thoughts in there, because there's going to be people going through so much, and there's people going through so much more, that in the Word there is healing for all of us wherever we are, whether it's physical crisis right now, emotional crisis, or spiritual crisis. Specifically want to talk about the emotional and spiritual, because when our physical does blow up in our face and in the circumstances physically around us, whether it's internally or externally, it impacts us emotionally and spiritually. So if we can kind of reverse engineer that and help ourselves be stronger, it has to be equal. Body, mind, and spirit has to be met equally. But if you address spiritually and make yourself strong spiritually, and if you make yourself strong emotionally, that's going to help you handle what's happening physically as well. And I know so many of you are hurting. So here's some of the things that I've done when I've walked through seasons of that crisis or that trauma. So one of the things you need to make sure that you're guarding is your mind with your thoughts, to make sure, again, being in the Psalms will really help you find a way to navigate those feelings of, Lord, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm grieving, I'm, whatever your feeling is, the unknown, or knowing exactly what's going on and not liking it. He gives you the words of, okay, but I still praise you. I still trust you. So being in the Psalms is going to help grow those spiritual muscles. The other thing that you're going to pay attention to is what you're putting inside you. So what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? What are you putting in your body? What's going in your mouth? What's going in your eyes? What's going in your ears? What's going in your nose? What are you allowing to penetrate you while you are in crisis? So when you start, it's so easy to get into those pity parties and that feeling of overwhelmedness. When you feel overwhelmed and you feel anxious, that's just going to stir the adrenals inside you, and your mind is going to race, and you're not going to be able to clearly process and think and feel all the things that you think and feel. And it's also going to help you not be able to address what needs to be done in the practical sense of the physical part of whatever it is that you might be dealing with externally, not just internally. So pay attention to the food that you're eating. I know, okay, chocolate girl, nothing like a good Reese's peanut butter cup, I know, but to eat 3 or 4 of them, you're just going to compound the issues going on inside here, that you're now going to have to deal with the regret and the, oh, why did I let myself have 3 or 4 Reese's peanut butter cups? Stay hydrated. Take those vitamins. Maybe swap out some of those caffeinated drinks for just the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you're in your season of crisis. Caffeine and sugar are really going to hurt you physically, and that's going to be part of, again, settling yourself physically, but at the same time, settling yourself spiritually and emotionally is just as equally important. But on the practical, I love to be practical. Practically, chamomile tea, lavender oils. Even if you don't have oils, let me show you what I do. So many people ask me, how do you even do your oils? This is called tunneling. You just get your oil bottle. Maybe you don't have oil. Maybe you have a certain spice in your cabinet that you love, vanilla or cinnamon. Those are my 2 favorites. Put them into the palm of your hand and just rub them together. Let your body heat kind of activate that aroma, and just pray. So when I am doing my oils and or spices, whatever, you'll know what goes. You'll know it when you smell it. Just go through your spice cabinet if you don't have oils. And then I put them in the palm of my hands, and then it's just part of that praying, because so much of what we deal with needs to be, again, cast your cares, is releasing that to him. So I'll just close my eyes and just pray. It's just that, that letting go, that surrendering of, anger or fear or sadness or grief or overwhelmedness or uncertainty or whatever it is, it's just exhaling that and breathing back in relief and grace and peace, and because he is the peacekeeper. And one of the best things my Aunt Susu ever said to me back in a season of crisis so many years ago, she's like, Michelle, you have got to get out of your head, because my head is an overthinker and is an introvert and somebody who was dealing with insecurities big time back in the day. And what if, all the worry. She's like, you've got to get outside of your head, because when you take the focus off of you and you focus it back on the Lord and serving other people, it allows you to release that energy to something more purposeful, something more distractive, if you will, because you are no longer in here trying to analyze what's happening here. You are now outwardly focused, and there is just something, I don't know if it's the Lord, energies, I don't know what it is, that allows you to feel so blessed knowing that you've been able to serve somebody else and be a blessing, because it truly is such a gift to give and know that you're blessing somebody else. So there's a different type of peace and renewal that comes when you are able to be a blessing to somebody else. So definitely thank you, Aunt Susu, for those words of wisdom that still, here it is 12, 13 years later, I still live by, and it's a practical application. When I get too wrapped up in what's happening from here up, I will just, okay, who can I bless? I just need to get this energy out and I'm going to bless. Yes, you can go to the gym. Yes, you can walk, but I suggest you also find somewhere to serve and bless. And then the last thing I want to leave with you is to be thankful. I know it's so hard when you're angry or hurting or in the middle of a crisis, because all you're trying to do is problem solve. I've got to fix this. This is not right. What do I do? Where's the answer? I'm Googling, I'm praying, it's all this do. And the Lord's just like, I will lead you beside still waters. I am with you. I will not forsake you. I am near the brokenhearted. And he will strengthen our weary hearts, our weary minds, our weary bodies, and renew us day by day and every morning. But we have to also allow him to do that. That's that internal surrender of body, mind, and spirit. It's like, okay, Lord, have your way. My joy in you is going to be my strength. So renew that joy inside me, that steadfast love. Let it be the foundation that I stand on. So even though disaster could be happening around you, not everything is, even though it feels that way, because there are still things to be worthy of praise. So whether you have to say them out loud, whether you have to just get a pen and paper and just find one thing to just say, Lord, but thank you. If you are a believer in him, thank him for his fellowship. Taste and see that the Lord is good, even though everything else around you can be chaotic and disastrous. He's still there. He's faithful to be your Abba Father. He's still faithful to be the love of your soul. He's still faithful to hear you. He sees you and he's with you, even if what is around you doesn't look or feel that way. Do you still believe that he is near? So praise him and thank him for that. So again, full circle all the way back. Cast your cares upon the Lord. Do not internally allow whatever it is that you're going through to fester inside of you, because all that is doing is allowing the enemy a crack, or maybe you've thrown the door wide open. Sometimes we do that in our fear or anger, is opening that door wide open. The enemy just comes right in and is like, oh, thanks for inviting me on in. We are closing that door. We are proclaiming the armor of God on and around us, that he goes before us, he's beside us, and he's walking behind you. I think sometimes we just need that reminder. So anyway, I hope this was a word of encouragement. I know so many of you are hurting, whether it's due to the weather or you have some other life crisis going on, and my heart hurts for you. I pray that some of these things that I've done, and for me personally, I'm not a trained psychologist, so This is just a friend live, a friend share. That's all. But I've gone through places in trauma also, for physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so these are just some of the things that I've done that have helped me just breathe. Just breathe. So I hope they've been a blessing to you. So just know that you are loved. You are more than a conqueror, and that you are seen and heard, and a cord of 3 or more cannot be easily broken. So just remember that as you walk through whatever it is that you are facing today, and may you always remember that love hopes and protects, and love always remains. All right, my friends. God bless you. Mwah.